Okay, friends, we are here with Iben Thranholm, Danish talk show host, journalist, and documentary filmmaker. And I have a question, a very cultural question about Denmark. I've noticed that you've said that the Queen of Denmark is a true Christian and really believes in her faith, while the rest of Denmark seems to be sort of rotting away into some sort of hedonism. But she's the Queen. She should be very influential. Why is the Queen of Denmark allowed Denmark to fall apart?
Well, the sad fact is that the queen or the king in Denmark, because her son will take over and be a king, they don't really have any influence. I mean, people really do love their queen here. I mean, she's very well estimated, and people really, really love the queen. But she does not really have any influence over people's lifestyle or the way they think. But every year at New Year's Eve, she gives a speech on television. And she's not afraid to talk about her belief in God. Not that she's very outspoken on New Year's Eve about it, but every time that she ends her speech, she always says, "God save Denmark." And our prime minister would never say that. But, she has been interviewed many times, and she has been very, very clear about her Christian faith. And she said when she was young and she became a queen, she suddenly understood she could not do this alone without God. So she turned to God because her father died, and she was quite young, and she had to learn how to be a queen somehow. And she realized that she needed God in her life. So she has been a believer for many, many years. And people know, but unfortunately, it's not something that the Danish people are trying to copy in their own lives. I'm sorry to say that.
So does the Danish people just kind of find her to be sort of cute, as something like, oh, that's our queen, oh, she's so silly, but she's not a real politician or something? I mean, who do the Danish people actually vote for and with enthusiasm, or do very few people vote and with very little enthusiasm?
Well, I think the Danish people hold our queen in high respect because she is very intelligent. And she's an artist, and she's very interested in a lot of things. And you can hear from the way she speaks that she has been reading a lot. She's been studying a lot, and she's very bright, and she's very good at communicating. So people really do know that she's a very special person. But in a democracy, in a secular democracy like Denmark, the queen is somehow a little bit above the people. Not that she's going to rule over us, but that she is something that belongs to a certain tradition that has nothing to do with modern life. I mean, her two sons, they have both married. I mean, girls that came from normal families, and they want to live a more, I would say, normal life. And this is of course the discussion in Denmark, whether we need the queen or we need the monarchy to go on, because if those people just want to be like everybody else, why should we have a king or a queen? And there are actually Danish people who think that we should just close down the monarchy because it costs us a lot of money and it is the taxpayers who will pay for it. But there's still so many people in Denmark that just love the queen and the monarchy. So I don't think it's going to happen. But of course, we have this debate from time to time whether monarchy is still relevant in a very secular country where fewer and fewer are Christians.
Personal opinion, if you can say it very briefly, what is the value, if there is any, of monarchy in the 21st century?
Well, I am a traditionalist, so I wouldn't say that I am against the monarchy, but in fact, I have had a kind of reflection myself about it because, I mean, if those the younger generation, my own generation, they want. I mean, it is the same thing with the monarchy in the United Kingdom. They have also married just completely normal girls from normal families. They don't pick noble wives, wives from noble families. So they don't want to sacrifice anything to be royal. They just want to live like everybody else. So if they want that and they still want the privileges, it doesn't make sense, because if you have those privileges, you also need to sort of conform to a tradition. And this is what they are obstructing. They don't want to do that. They just want to have a normal life. And I can understand that. But maybe then it's time for them to say goodbye and say, well, I don't want to live the royal lifestyle. I don't want to take this responsibility on me. I don't want to just have duties. I just want the privileges. And then, it might gonna,
Well, see, then the thing is, then the princes, they want to have everything, but they don't want to work for anything or have any obligations. They sound like real modern Europeans, don't they?
Exactly.
Iben Thranholm, thank you very much for being with us, and you have a nice evening.
Thank you.